I'm just currently walking back to our campsite. We're currently camping in Tuncurry, which is like on the beach side. So I've just been at the beach reading The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm about 40 pages in, and so far we're dealing with Clementine, our main character. She's a publicist for this company, and her great aunt passed away. So we are basically getting the inside of her grief and her dealing with her aunt's passing, because she was extremely close with her. So that's like basically what we've gotten so far. I'm loving the writing style of this book. It is so beautiful and well written. So I look forward to continuing on. Feeling my hoodie, but I just want to give you all an update on how I felt about The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. Now, I posted my full review on my Instagram, so please go check it out if you're interested, but I cannot stop thinking about this book. It has like changed my life. I literally, as soon as I finished reading The 7-Year Slip, I went and bought The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston, because I love her writing style and the way that she told the story of The 7-Year Slip. I love the main character, Clementine. I love the love interest, Ewan. I loved it. I love the talk on grief, the topic of grief. It was such an important part of the story, and I deeply connected with our main character, Clementine, with her stages of grief and dealing with the loss of her aunt. I have personally gone through something quite similar with the topic of suicide in my life, so it just really hit close to home, and I felt all the emotions that she felt trying to come to terms with her grief and meeting Ewan in such a sporadical moment in her life, finding crossroads and wanting to keep going back to the person who she loves but didn't have the choice. Like, her apartment just didn't want her to see him at one point. And then 7 years later, they rekindle with each other, and it was so beautiful. And obviously they both changed in that time, but they are soulmates. And obviously the whole thing of finding the right place but at the wrong time, it was such a massive element of the story, and I just loved it. I ate it up. I genuinely ate this story up. I read it in less than 24 hours. I want to reread it already. I want to annotate it like crazy. I just loved it so much. It was so beautiful. I cried multiple times in the book. It really just hit close to home, and the relationship was just so beautiful. Even the side characters, they brought so much life to the story. They were so likable, and you just fell in love with their dynamic between one another. Chef's kiss. I highly recommend this book if you are wanting to pick up a romance. Magic realism. The tropes include one bed trope, forced proximity, just undying love, grief. It was a massive plot of this story, but it was dealt with such sensitivity. I just loved it. It was infinity stars for me. This is like my favorite read of the year now. I'm not even going to lie. It's like right, probably even above Daisy Jones and the Six right now. It was so magnificent. Okay, hello vlog. So today is officially the first day of the Thick Thighs Readathon, so I am participating in sprints tonight. I just finished reading LDK Volume 1. It's a manga series. It's like a romantic comedy about two teenagers in high school sharing an apartment together. So far, the first volume was so cute, and you will hear more about that in my 30 manga in 30 days vlog. But I came out to my car to unbox a few packages that I have received over the last few days, because it's super quiet out here and I'm just so excited. So first of all, I received this package and I've already opened it, but I would like to show you anyways. I got the hardcover of Chasm by Stacey McEwen. This was sent to me kindly by the publishers. So this book comes out tomorrow. Today is the 11th of September, release date is the 12th. So everyone should go and get their own copy of this. It was such a fun read. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. Highly recommend this trilogy. Okay, the next little parcel that I received is in this really cool holographic packaging. I have bought 2 themed items. So I got a pair of earrings that will be fitting for a vlog I'm doing next month. Obviously it is spooky month, October, so I'm so excited about these. I've been waiting to open them on camera. Oh, it even came with a cute little lollipop. I can't have this right now because I'm doing a 75-day challenge and I'm not allowed to have any sugar. Okay. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. There's a Jason Voorhees sticker. Oh my gosh. We have a portal dimension. Yes. And then the last sticker is Jack. This is from The Shining. Oh my gosh. Jason for president. I'm sorry, but this is the coolest sticker I own now. And I'm going to put it on my Kindle. I'm obsessed. Thank you. Okay. So I got this from the Boutique Collective. I found this, I'll put the @ down below, but I found these from Etsy and they came so quick. I think I ordered them a few days ago and they like came within 3 business days. Oh my gosh, if you can hear dogs barking, please do not mind that. Oh, they're so cool. So the first thing I got, oh my gosh, it's a Chucky phone grip or any sort of pop socket, but I'm sorry. You would all know how obsessed I am with Chucky at the moment, or at the moment in general. I love Chucky. Chucky is my favorite horror franchise. I just love Chucky with my whole heart. So yes, I am planning on doing a whole Kindle revamp, and this is going on the back of my Kindle. I'm getting like a skin and new stickers, so this will be on that. And then the earrings that I was talking about, I'm genuinely so pumped because they look so cool. Pennywise earrings. I'm so excited. I'm sorry, but these are going to be a part of my It reading vlog that I am planning on filming next month. Why do I do this to myself? But so fitting for that vlog. I had to get them. I was like, okay, they are so cool. They are literally awesome. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So those are the 2 items that I got from that little Etsy shop. And the stickers, I'm just so excited about those. The last package that I received is in this little package. I actually have no idea what is in this. I'm pretty sure it's from a publisher. It may be what I'm thinking. I did request an advance reader copy, but I'm not sure. Yes, it is. So I requested an advance reader copy of Lauren Jackson's new novel that's coming out in October, I'm pretty sure. And I was kindly sent this by Penguin. So this is called Die For You by Lauren Jackson. This is a vampire fantasy book, paranormal romance. I have seen it all over Bookstagram because I do follow Lauren on Bookstagram, and she was originally indie published, but Penguin Random House picked her up. So Lauren has her debut novel, which was called Meant to Be, and it was originally indie published, but Penguin picked both of her books up in the works. So they obviously have taken down Meant to Be and are re-releasing both novels as a part of the Penguin Random House program. So both novels are coming out on the 3rd of October. I only specifically requested Die For You because I don't read a lot of romances, and I just don't read a lot, and I love reading fantasy and paranormal romances, so I knew that I would love this, and that's why I wanted to give it a go. I definitely will be reading this before release date, so I might even put it in my September TBR since it comes out soon. But I'm just going to read the synopsis out in case anyone wanted to pick it up when it gets released. Twilight meets the Vampire Diaries in this steamy romantasy which will leave you thirsting for more. I'm sorry. The Vampire Diaries and Twilight? Say no more, please. The survivor. The death certificate says my sister died 2 years ago in the accident, but her body was never found. I was the sole survivor. Then I saw her. Someone lied. Now, I must travel across the country to find answers from a bloodthirsty vampire with one thing on his mind. I will find out the truth, even if it kills me.
The protector. I didn't mean for this to happen. I didn't mean for any of it to happen. Now Rhea is here. She's mine and I must protect her at all costs. With our bond, if she dies, I die. It doesn't add up and it's all a mess. It's my job to fix it and find my brother. She knows I'm hiding something, but I'm terrified to tell her the truth. The predator. It's been years since I had a lead. Now I have one. I will watch, I will wait, I will strike. He will be mine. It sounds so good. I'm so pumped. Thank you so much to Penguin for sending me an advanced reader copy of this book. I cannot wait to read it. So those were the little bookish items that I received. I am so pumped. I am now about to go film a books and makeup tag that a bunch of us booktubers are collaborating for, which will be released soon. So I have a very special announcement with that one. I was kindly sent an Audi as well, so you will see more of that in my video. But I hope you enjoy this, and I'm going to go back to reading now, and I'll update you all when I have an update. Hello vlog. So I haven't updated in a few days because I have been so just in the grind, reading, getting my reads in, getting all of my manga reads in particular, because I'm currently working on a month-long video. So I've been reading 2 volumes of manga a day, plus finding time to do a 45-minute workout after work, reading my actual TBR because I'm currently participating in the Thick Thighs Readathon. So lots of audiobooks have been happening. But I have finished 2 audiobooks since I last updated this vlog. I finished Neon Gods by Katie Robert, and I also finished Sign Here by, is it Courtney Lux? Caitlin Lux, Courtney Lux? I'll put it up on the screen. But I thought both books were okay. They're not fantastic reads. Neon Gods was a retelling of Hades and Persephone. I did like it. It was kind of just like mid plot line. So basically Persephone runs away from the upper city because Zeus is trying to take her hand in marriage, and he has a very bad track record of killing all of his ex-wives basically. So she doesn't want to get sold off to him, and her mother is making her do it. So she runs away to the lower city, and Hades finds her, and then basically they sign this treaty between one another that he will help her make Zeus believe that they have fallen in love, sort of thing, both in a romantic relationship. And so it was extremely smutty. There was a lot of smut, and I was listening to this audiobook at work and I thought it was illegal because it was so smutty and just like very dark. Not dark in the way of trigger warnings goes, but just like very hot, dirty smut. So that's what that book was basically about, to deal with that. So that was how that read went. And then I finished Sign Here, which was a very interesting read. I think it says a horror, it's classed as a horror, but yeah, it was more of a thriller than a horror. I wouldn't say it was depraved in any way. I mean, not entirely depraved. There was some depraved topics that were spoken in this book, but basically we follow POVs from hell and POVs from our world. And so hell, Peyote is the POV, and he is a worker in hell. He died however many long years ago, he doesn't even remember. They lose all their memories when they go to hell, and there is 6 levels of hell. So you end up at the first level when you first arrive in hell, and you have to work your way up, basically like the building. So it was very dark and humorous, very funny. Peyote's POV was hilarious, and just like his co-workers that he works with in hell. So basically what their job is in hell is that they are assigned to get humans to sign an agreement, a contract. So when they die, then they sell their soul to hell. So what they don't realize though is, because they never read the terms and conditions, is that they're selling their soul to hell. But basically, like, they get an alert on a tablet that they all occupy, and that if said person is begging for anybody out there to listen or to help them achieve something in their life, then the Hell Squad answers. So Peyote answers and he goes to the people and he's like, yep, we'll do that for you. All you need to do is sign here. And yeah, that's basically what happens. And they sell their souls to hell. So I wouldn't personally like to sell my soul to hell. So just, yeah, it was an interesting concept. But we follow the POVs of a family called the Harrisons. And I don't know where they come into play, because Peyote does mention in the beginning of his POVs that he has a family history with this family. So yeah, they're the Harrison, I think it's the Harrisons, I could be wrong, but it starts with a H, I'm pretty sure. They are very miscommunicative, the whole family miscommunicative. So we follow the family of Lily. So Lily's the mother of 2 kids, Silas is the father of 2, and then the 2 kids is Mickey and Josh. And so they are they're a fucked up family. Let's just say that. They're a fucked up family. Lily is cheating on her husband with a man that's sister died in the hands of Silas's brother. So that's where that plot, that's not a spoiler, like that's basically what the whole story evolves around. So that's, yeah. And then Mickey has a friend, her name is Ruth, and Ruth looked exactly like Sarah. And so Silas thinks very dirty things about Mickey's friend. And keep in mind that Mickey is 14 and Josh is 17. So Ruth is somewhere a bit older than Mickey. But let's just say she's 16 years old. And Silas has had thoughts about a 16-year-old girl because she looks exactly like this girl that he used to have a crush on when he was that age. So there is pedophilia like topics in this story, and it was very unsettling. That was the most unsettling part. I was like, yuck, what the actual fuck am I reading right now? So that's how I felt about that. And then the plot twist at the very end, I honestly saw it coming. So I can understand why this book is not highly rated, because I didn't hate it. I did really enjoy Peyote's POV and like the talks of hell. I thought that the banter was really funny with his co-workers, and that was a whole other POV. But just the family, the Harrison family's POVs, no, they were all unlikable characters. Even though Peyote, who is in hell, he's probably done some fucked up shit in his lifetime, but I found him way more entertaining than the other family. So that's just how I felt about that. I am now currently reading Electric Idol, which is also by Katie Robert, because this is on my Thick Thighs TBR. We have a fat female main character. So this is a retelling of Psyche and Eros, and there is a marriage of convenience trope in this book, and I'm only about I'd say 100 pages in now. I'm probably a little bit further than Eros's POV at page 95. So we have already gotten a bit of angstiness between the two. I might just read it physically tonight or do a bit of both. But I have a really exciting project that I want to do tonight, because I obviously have my Kindle right here. I have all these like random ass stickers on my Kindle because I had stickers actually stuck on the Kindle and I hated it, so I took them off. But then I had like residues. I actually covered them with stickers. But I recently received a really exciting package in the mail. I got all of these really fun stickers. So I have like bookish stickers, and I also received some Halloween vibe stickers. I got a Jason for President sticker and Jack from The Shining sticker, and I'm obsessed. And I also have a Chucky pop socket, which I'm going to change my pop socket. So I have the same case, and I don't like, there's something wrong with this case. So I'm going to try and salvage the case and take this pop socket off and put my Chucky one on, change the stickers up, and we're going to have a Kindle makeover. I do have a skin that is coming, but I didn't realize the Etsy store that I bought the skin from, the Etsy store is actually closed for the remainder of September, so I probably won't receive that skin until October sometime, but I'll just put it on when I receive it. So I will be doing a Kindle makeover, so I'm very excited. So that is my update. I have 2 volumes of manga that I need to read for a separate video. So that is Dr. Stone and another like romance manga. So far I'm enjoying all the manga that I've been reading. It's such a fun way to read more. I have literally reached my Goodreads reading goal for the year because of all the manga that I've read so far this month. So it's been a good time. But anyways, I will check back in with you all when I have another update. What are you doing? Talk to me. Talk to me.
If you can hear my AC, please do not mind me. It is hot today. It's like 30 degrees Celsius. I just went to the library and returned a heap of volumes of manga that I have already read for the video that I am currently filming. I picked up 2 more volumes that came in while I wasn't there last time. They weren't there, so I picked those up. And now I'm going to Big W because I'm buying It's by Stephen King. I also want to have a look at Holy by Stephen King because I've heard really good reviews already about this book and it's only just come out, so I'm thinking about doing a Stephen King themed reading vlog because I have The Shining physically on my TBR already, so that could be like a really fun vlog to film. But I'm going to grab it to Big W and have a look at the book section, and I also want to have a look at some Halloween decor because I know that there is some Halloween stuff out now and I love buying like little pumpkins and spooky items for October. Even though in Australia we don't really celebrate or we don't really join in on Halloween all that much, so I'm excited. I'll see you guys at the shops. I have just been reading Hazel's Shadow. This cover looks like Slender Man in a way. It's giving me all the creepy vibes, but it's only a YA supernatural thriller, even though it has horror elements. So basically we follow Hazel, and all her life she has been able to see ghosts, and she thought no one would believe her, because when she was a kid she'd say to her gran that she could see this shadow in her home, and her gran's like, oh no darling, like it's just shadows, like turn the lights off and you won't be able to see anything, or turn the lights on and you can see us moving, and that's what the shadow is. But that was not the case. It was an evil entity basically possessing her gran her whole life. And the plot of this story is her gran is dying, and they think the shadow that has lived in her home the whole time has basically sucked the life out of her over the years, and that is how she died. But then all of a sudden this outbreak happens. It's not even an outbreak, just all of a sudden these compromised people turn into zombie monsters, and the zombies remind me a lot of World War Z zombies, like the fast-paced, smart, disturbing zombies. And that is what we're getting. We're getting flesh-eating, fast-running zombies. And basically we just follow a group of girls trying to survive, and Hazel can still see all these spirits, so all of her friends who are dying at school, she can see them. But that is basically where I'm up to at the moment. I'm, I think, 70-ish pages in, so 35% in, and I am enjoying it. The only thing that is kind of annoying me is that they keep referring to these creatures as monsters, but then changing that to zombies, so we're getting monsters and zombies. And I'm like, and then one person was like, the corrupted. So I'm like, can you just choose what you're going to name these zombies? Because it's kind of confusing me. And then on top of that, Hazel can see all these spirits, and that's giving me Ghost Whisperer vibes, because she usually helps spirits cross over or help them find their way back to their bodies. So for a YA, this has like hardly any reviews. I found that because I wanted to pick up a thriller for Thick Thighs, the main character Hazel is plus size, and there is also LGBTQ rep, because she hasn't come out as gay, but she has like spoken to a friend saying, oh, I almost outed myself, because she wanted to know if she was into guys or girls. So that's cute. I hope we get to see more of that. But it is action packed already, and we're only 70 pages in, so I am really enjoying it. And I just love this cover, and I may have not mentioned, but this is by Nicole McCarran, so that it is a series as well, but this only has like 50-ish reviews on Goodreads, I think. But for a book that I came across, I'm really enjoying it so far. It's sitting at a 4-ish star rate for me thus far. It's very action packed, so that's what I'm liking about it, and the descriptions of these creatures are quite creepy, so I like that. Okay, I apologize if I look gross. It is like 34 degrees and I just had to turn all the fans off because I am filming this outro and I didn't want the fans to be so loud, so I apologize for that. It is so hot. We have just gotten this heat wave and I feel like I'm dying, and it's only the beginning of spring, so I'm scared as to what is going to happen in the summertime. It's going to be a lot. But I just went outside with Raven and I put her in the pool for a little bit because she loves to swim. She's obsessed with swimming. Whenever the warm weather happens, she sits at the pool gate and waits for me to open it. That's how obsessed she is. So anyways, I thought I'd talk about the books that I'd read this week. So this vlog has pretty much gone for a week, and I'm so proud of myself for finishing 5 books in 1 week. Who am I? I'm sorry. That is like a world record for me. Although I would say in total reads that I have read this week has been 12 reads, because I am also working on a manga video that is separate. So I read 7 volumes of manga this week, as on top of the other 5 books that I read. So like my brain is a little tiny bit fried, I'm not gonna lie. I will be editing this video after and I will be taking it easy this week. I think I definitely want to read A Flicker in the Dark by Stacey Willingham, which is a thriller, and I'm really excited for that. So it will be my next read, I'm pretty sure, which will be in another vlog. So I'm just going to talk about the first book that I finished, which was The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. This gets an infinity out of 5 stars. One of my favorite books of this year now. It is now one of my top favorites. I will never stop thinking about this book. I loved it so freaking much. The relationship between Ewan and Clementine, chef's kiss. The topics of grief that Clementine had to deal with throughout this book was so heartfelt towards me personally, as I went through something quite similar nearly 5 years ago now, and the same sort of thing happened for that grief to come on. So it was very emotional for me to read. I cried multiple times reading it, but it was honestly written in such a beautiful and sensitive way towards suicide and the topics of suicide, so I really appreciated that. I just loved this so much. We get to see Ewan, who is a chef, and obviously we get to hear a lot about food talk, and I will never stop saying it. I love this book so much. We obviously have magic realism, and I just loved it. I posted my review on Instagram and I made a little Pinterest board of this book that I would envision, and I can't stop going back and reading my review because I just felt so passionately about it. And this is honestly now one of my favorite books of all time. I'm obsessed. I even bought, if I can find it, I went and bought The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston because I just love her writing and her writing style. So beautiful, so lyrical. I was in love. I hope this is the same for me. I've heard really good things about The Dead Romantics as well. So I'll be reading this probably in October, as it's another romance, but I literally read The 7-Year Slip in less than 24 hours. And I was away camping when I started this, and then on the way home on our drive, I read a majority of this book. It was that good. I could not put it down. The next book that I read was Neon Gods by Katie Robert. I gave this a 3-star. Yes, I gave this one a 3-star. Look, if you're into smut, this is a good book because most of this was just so smutty. I did like the premise. Obviously, Neon Gods is a retelling of Persephone and Hades. So that was interesting, the way that Olympus is portrayed in this series. It's definitely in modern times, our times now. That's when it's portrayed as, in Olympus, and we have the upper and lower city. So that was quite interesting, and Hades runs the lower city, whereas Zeus runs the upper city, and Persephone is originally from the upper city, but then she gets attacked pretty much and finds herself on the lower city side, and Hades claims her as his to piss Zeus off. So that's like what the premise of the story is, and it just got very smutty. And look, it was good smut, I won't even deny that, but I'm just not in that sort of a mood, I suppose. Like, I've been reading a lot of fantasy and a lot of high fantasy with hardly any smut, and also a lot of thrillers, so we don't get to see that either. So it was a bit of a different route for me to read, but overall it wasn't terrible. I did enjoy myself. It was on audio as well, so that was that read. And then the next book that I read was Sign Here by Claudia Lux, which was also an audiobook, and I also gave this a 3 stars. I enjoyed the premise of this book. I'm not going to go too much into it because I did mention it in one of my updates, but I already kind of forget what happens because I don't know, it didn't grasp my attention all that much. Like, the only character that I liked was Peyote, and he was from hell, so the dark humor was intriguing and I liked that, but the family that we were following in this book was just so unlikable and I couldn't care less. So that's how I felt about that book. So the next book that I read was Hazel Shadows. This was by Nicole McCarran. I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. I honestly really enjoyed this book. I found it on Kindle. This was for Thick Thighs Readathon, so I added it to my TBR as Hazel is fat, so she is plus size in this book and it's represented really well. I also get to see some LGBTQ rep as well because Hazel is gay from what I interpreted as well, so she was into girls, which I loved. I really enjoyed this. I have not read any sort of like YA horror thriller, supernatural thriller. It is like marketed as a supernatural thriller, but I would even class it as like a horror because there was infected people, so basically zombies, that's what they were calling them. They were calling them monsters, zombies, and the corrupt. I'm pretty sure that's what the corrupt, I think it was called. They were calling them the corrupt, and I was kind of getting annoyed. I was getting a little bit annoyed with the way that they were saying like monsters, zombies, and the corrupt. So it's just like getting meshed all over. And there's also ghosts, because Hazel can see ghosts, so we get to see like whenever her friends or people that she knew were dying, like people would come to her as a ghost and she would try and tell them like you are dead, but some of them were just so in denial about it because the whole thing evolves around this shadow that she once saw when she was a little girl, and her whole life her grandma has been going through a lot, and basically her grandma ended up dying from this shadow taking the life out of her, and the corrupt were created from this shadow and corrupted the whole town. And it was like post-apocalyptic vibes, like we were getting World War Z vibes as well, because these zombies were like flesh-eating zombies, so they're trying to eat them. And yeah, it was very intense. It was quite intense. Some parts I found really intense. Some parts were very uncomfortable and creepy because we got like a haunted house as well as the corrupted. And yeah, some of the dialogue was definitely creepy. I will say that for a YA book, this is definitely like, I have not heard about this book before. I only came across it because I was going through articles on Plus I Rep thriller and horror books and I found it, and there's not many reviews on it. I think there's like 53 Goodreads reviews of this book, but I overall really enjoyed my time reading it and I would recommend it. Don't take it as the best writing because I did find some errors in the ebook, but overall I really enjoyed my time reading Hazel Shadow. I read it in like a day and a half and it was, I think, 280 pages maybe. It's not too long, so it didn't take very long to read, but I overall really had a good time with this book. And then the last book that I read was Garlic and the Vampire, and this is by Brie Paulson. Oh my gosh, this is the cutest book I've ever read. I gave this one a 4 out of 5 stars. The art style is so adorable. Oh my, just the colors and how contrasted the vegetables are. It was so freaking cute. We basically follow Garlic, and she is a garlic and she works in a garden, and she basically gardens for the witch that runs the little folk town, or like hires them to garden for her, and they were all born in the garden because obviously the witch created them. It was just so cute. And then there is a castle that's far away from where they are, but they can see the castle in the distance, and the lights were turned on or something, and they're like, oh my gosh, like who is there? Might be someone passing by, but no, a vampire was there. So then they set Garlic on a mission to go and confront the vampire, to tell this vampire to leave town or else there'll be consequences. But like, oh my gosh. So she makes her way to the castle, and the vampire is actually not who she thinks that he is, and they form a little friendship, and it is so freaking cute. It was so cute. I loved it so much. I will be getting Garlic and the Witch. I think that's what the other one is called. I had the best time reading this. The art style is just so freaking adorable. Like, oh my goodness. I just loved it so much. So I highly recommend, if you're like into if you would like a cute, fun, quick read, Garlic and the Vampire is for you. Right, so that concludes this week's vlog. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have read any of the books that I mentioned, let me know. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!